It's a pretty notorious place. Richard Ramirez isn't the only serial killer that lived there. And it's got this really kind of a creepy history, you know, that extends back decades. If you were coming into Los Angeles from El Paso like Richard, you would probably walk straight up Main and this would be the first place you'd see. And, you know, it wasn't an expensive place. So this was Richard's headquarters in Los Angeles. He, you know, stayed here. He'd go out and do his little, you know, dirty deeds and then come back here.
But Richard wasn't only heavily involved in drugs.
As Richard grew older and began taking more and more drugs, he began to become firmly entrenched in his Satanism. That was a big part of his life.
Initially, he had strong Catholic beliefs. Having been raised a Catholic myself, you're good, you're with Christ. When you're bad, you're with Satan.
He had a kind of special room in there that he kind of outfitted to be more satanic or more evil. I think he lived there at least for most of the summer of '85.
Partying with like a different kind of crowd that, you know, like a kind of like a cult. Back then, like, I guess he had joined into like some kind of like satanic cult. And I think that wasn't just all like my uncle now. I think his childhood, I think who he was hanging out with, drugs and Satanism, there's a lot of stuff. And it just all triggered it. And the people that could have helped him didn't help him.
And serial killers and most killers in general have a dead conscience. No morals, no scruples, no conscience. For some, it is the very act of killing another human being that is sexual to them. Bloodlust, I guess you could say. Some serial killers will let you live if you talk to them, if you get to know them, if they get to know you. Some serial killers will take pity while others won't. And this not only applies to serial killers, but killers in general. Is it chemistry? Is it genetics? Is there such a thing as a bad seed when a baby is born? Is he already a serial killer? Or is he created by his own deeds and feelings throughout his life and his environment? Throughout my childhood and up to the time I was 18 years old, I believed in God. And then for 2-3 years, I became sort of like an atheist. I didn't believe in anything.
These are horrendous stuff that they accuse me of doing. You know, I can't even hurt a puppy. At the time, I need somewhere to stay, so this is why I was led to him. He's older than me, of course, like 10 years or more. And, you know, I just look up to him pretty much like a brotherly, fatherly figure. I mean, they got this kind of bondage, like whips and handcuffs and stuff like that in the house. So, I mean, and I can overheard it sometime when I'm in the living room or kitchen cooking when they're doing this thing in the bathroom. These tapes cannot be taken lock, stock, and barrel the way it is. This is like a free scene. So, you know, first scene is Lennon Lake with Kathy Allen with me. Second scene was the Mossad scene. Third scene was Lennon Lake talking to Kathy Allen when I'm not in the property at all. The fourth scene is the Brenda O'Connor scene with Lennon Lake me. That's basically the totality of the tape. Because the tape only lasts, I mean, the segment that I was involved in only lasts at the most 20 minutes. And the prosecution tried to tell the jury that this 20 minutes, this is the real child thing.
In a way, I feel like the people that molested me and the thing started, maybe 5% to blame for forming my personality.
And the other 95%?
It was Donald's fault. I know a lot of them's going to have nightmares and stuff concerning their loved ones, which they thought for the past 16, 17 years died a peaceful death. You know, they come to find out that, you know, their deaths were murder.
Will Donald Harvey have nightmares?
No.
The arrest of Charles Johnston may have come just in time. The child porn suspect told police that masturbating to his collection of sexual photographs inside his apartment here in North Naples was fulfilling him less and less.
He was at the end of his fantasizing and was ready to begin acting out what he had been thinking about. So he indicated that he could potentially be the next Jeffrey Dahmer.
Rambosk says Johnston denies any previous assaults on children, but investigators have issued a national police bulletin on the case to be sure. Police arrested Charles Johnston here on Gulf Shore Boulevard under some pretty bizarre circumstances. He was in the act of trying to steal a tire off some stranger's car in order to replace his own flat tire. When police stopped him, he confessed out of the blue to being a pedophile, with a computer disc in the trunk to prove it. Police say the disc showed several very extremely explicit sexual acts being performed by girls who appeared to be under the age of 10. Johnston apparently accessed all of his porn from the internet. No surprise, says computer expert Chuck Todd.
You can find anything on the internet if you know how, and it's not that difficult to do.
In just minutes, Todd makes his point.
Adult XXX and porn party site.
This site is blocked, but with a phone and credit card, anyone can access this, and sometimes, as in the Johnston case, much more. Police think his arrest has prevented future crimes. Rob Lowe reporting. Rob Lowe, NBC6.
When convicted killer Richard Speck appeared on videotape using drugs and having sex behind bars, it fueled perception that prison isn't tough enough. According to this guard, perception is reality.
The gangs currently dictate to the Department of Corrections, not the Department of Corrections dictating to the gangs.
In fact, say 3 guards at Pontiac Correctional Center, gangs control every facet of prison life at the maximum security facility. One startling story, that gangs demand and receive catered banquets and picnics for themselves and hundreds of family and friends on a weekly basis.
They have your basic picnic items, which are
hamburgers, hot dogs.
Hamburgers, hot dogs, ice cream, whatever is on the menu that day.
Just like it would be if you went to the state park and you had a gathering with your family.
DOC Chief Odie Washington calls the banquets a management tool.
We found that that's been very beneficial in terms of maintaining control and giving the men and women an opportunity to be with their families during the summer months.
Washington also disputes claims of gang control, placing the blame on overcrowding and, in some cases, inadequate staffing levels. And he can't say why the guards are saying gangs call the shots. In Chicago, Mary McGuire, CLTV News.